when you really start to study energy and what it can do in your body and what you can do out in the world with it, I mean, it's just, you're limitless.
Right.
You are infinitely abundant. So we are at what we call the playground.
Okay.
We don't even call it a gym,
okay,
because we feel like when we come here we play. I got to this place through Nancy. So Nancy, my life coach, when I first started with her, the very first thing she told me that I had to do was I had to come to the playground and I had to take a game day.
That sounds like a trick.
Right. Right. It's actually a physical fitness assessment.
Mm-hmm.
It has 4 quarters to it, and it's a whole way of being able to quantify where you are physically. This is really a transformational community.
Mm-hmm.
And the fitness part is just a part of it. And so we sort of look at the individual as a 3-dimensional, all of us are 3-dimensional people, right? 3-dimensional humans.
Mm-hmm.
And those 3 dimensions are your fitness, your lifestyle, and your consciousness.
Okay.
Now, a lot of programs that are out there, a lot of gyms that are out there, typically it's 90% fitness,
mm-hmm,
or 60% fitness, 40% nutrition. Right? And that's it. Nobody's addressing the totality of the person. So what I've found, it all plays on each other. So if I don't have the fitness and I don't have the lifestyle, which is what you eat and who you're around and where you're spending your time and what you're doing with yourself, and then the consciousness part, which is the whole bigger level that nobody's addressing. And so that's the part that brings the healing. There's lots of transformational communities, but what I think is really different about this one is the way that we look at those 3 pieces. The fitness part, we only consider 20% of the person.
Okay.
The lifestyle is 30%, and consciousness is 50%. Because without the consciousness, none of the other 2 things really can show up the way they need to show up. I was mentioning earlier to you that I lost 35 pounds recently.
Right.
I was in this program 18 months, and that's when I really had a big jump or a big shift in my consciousness level. How we define consciousness, when I first heard the word, I was like, what the heck does that mean? Like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I'm a little bit
Right?
foggy about it.
So it's really simple. Consciousness is how you relate to yourself, others, and life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the things we come across or the situations that we're in, it's how we relate to each of them. Being aware of how you relate in all of those situations is your consciousness. And so in order to really know where you're at with that, you go through your healing and do your healing stuff, but also it's being around other people that are conscious and that they're working on themselves. It's called Your Day Balance Game is what we call the community. We just call it the game.
The game.
Right, because we're all playing a game, right? The game of life. In the game of life, you can play it however you want. You can choose, right? Because you're your co-creator, right? You're creating your life, so you can choose how you want to do it.
Make the rules.
That's right. So I choose to be in a community like this where I am making every day my day, and that I'm staying balanced in my life. And when you can get to that space, that's where true healing happens. That's where you continue to elevate yourself, you know, in your plane of energy out in the world and the way you're affecting others, impacting others. So I get to this 18-month mark and I'm having a big shift, right? Over a 2-month period, I lost 35 pounds. I didn't do anything different. I've just been doing the work for a long time. And it was emotional weight.
No.
When I stepped in this gym in January of 2020, I said today, that's my trainer, and he's the leader of our community too. I said to him, I am so sick of carrying this weight around. The first thing I want to do is get this weight off. We got to get this weight off. And he looked at me and he goes, if that's why you're here, it's not going to work. And I was like, why? And he said, because it's emotional weight. You're holding on and protecting yourself from whatever it is you need to heal from. And you're going to hold on to it until you get to a place where you can release that trauma or release that heal.
Right.
Release that past whatever.
Right.
And I was like, whatever. Like, I didn't believe him. I'm like, you're crazy. So I finally, surrendered.
Let it go.
I surrendered. Yep, let it go. And 18 months later, when I went through a very, very intense breakdown to get to this big breakthrough, it fell off. In fact, I didn't even know it'd come off. I had gotten to a point where I disliked the way that I looked so much that I wouldn't even look at myself in the mirror. I'd only look at my face. I would never look at my body. And I put a pair of pants on and they fell down. And I was like, what's going on? And then I look up in the mirror and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Who is that?
I've lost some weight. And I get on, I've lost 12 pounds. And then over the next 6 to 8 weeks, it just, all of it, 35 pounds gone. But I put in 2 years of work.
Right.
So it's not overnight, and it's the totality of your whole self. It is not about what you're putting in your mouth exclusively, or how much you're working out, or how hard you're working out. It's about how you're relating to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Those other things just benefit you, and they help along the way, and they make the full person.
Right.
But it's how you're relating to your life, and how you're choosing to relate to your life.
Yeah.
Right.
My nutrition program that I follow is the science behind it is toxicity.
Ah.
And
Very similar.
it is very
Yes,
similar
very
because
much.
it says without dealing with the toxicity,
That's right.
it doesn't matter how few calories you eat or how many calories you burn, your body is going to hold on to the weight.
Right.
So while it does sound hocus pocus, it does have foundations in science.
Mm-hmm. This too, I mean, when you really start to study energy and how you can move energy and what it can do in your body and what you can do out in the world with it, I mean, it's just, you're limitless.
Right.
You are infinitely abundant. I mean, we are, because we are part of God. We are all one. So this understanding, this consciousness level is so huge. The more people that get that, the more we're all in the same space and we're all helping each other. Mm-hmm. So from a fitness standpoint, we use this tool called the Game Day, and we come and we do this every 90 days, and it's an assessment of your body, a physical assessment. There's 4 quarters: strength, cardio, flexibility, and body composition. And so you get this number at the end, and it's truly just where you're at the time.
Right.
And that helps you, okay, this is the level I want to go to next. But what we learn in here is about how to handle stress out in the real world. So there's core exercises we always do, squat holds that tell you know when that legs start burning, well, that's just how are you going to do that out in acute stress in the world. You're going to breathe through that. And you learn these tools about how to deal with life through physical fitness. And then from a lifestyle standpoint, we have this cool app called the Balance Chart. And it spells out the word balance, and each letter represents a different building block for your life. So B, for example, is breath.
Right.
And then I choose habits that are already programmed in there under breath that I'm going to do every week, and I'm going to commit that to myself. So 4 times a week, I will stop and I will do 10 deep breaths and spend that time with myself. So when I do that, and I go put it in my balance chart, you log it, where you click the button, it says make deposit.
Oh.
So every time I do that, I'm making a deposit into myself. And that's building that self-worth. On top of it, I'm building these incredible habits.
Yeah.
And the habits, again, are that foundation we talked about being principally centered and principally habit-centered. Like, I'm going to breathe well and through my life. I'm going to not drink caffeine. I'm not going to drink alcohol, or whatever your choices are around that. Or I'm going to listen to empowering things. And so I have a ton of habits. I play for like 249 points a week, every week. And you just watch that build your self-worth. It's incredible. And then the third part, the consciousness, we have what we call COIs, which is Circle of Influence. It's a term that was dubbed by Stephen Covey in 7 Habits. And so we meet in an accountability group once a week, and the commitment is about 18 months to 2 years. Every week you sit down with the same 7 people, you spend about 5 hours, and you do your life with them. And it's about showing up and saying, this is who I want to be in the world. You have these 6 people that love you unconditionally, hold this space for you, but they're going to tell you straight up, well, that's not aligning with who you are. And so you're constantly growing. And when you've been in there long enough, we actually do a consciousness calibration rating.
What is that?
So we have these questions that each member of the group answers about you and how you're relating to yourself, others, in life. It's as objective as it can be from a subjective situation.
Sure.
So it definitely gives you a good idea of where you're resonating in the world. Like, where are you? Are you living in shame, pride, courage, willingness, love, peace? Like, where are you leveling up to? So these tools, you know, I rep these on a daily basis, and they've just spread out into my life in a way that's impacted everything.
And you've been doing this how long?
So just a little over 2 years now. So this is one of the core exercises that we always do when we come to train.
And I'm gonna hate you tomorrow, right?
No, you're gonna love me for this. You're gonna love me for this when I make this connection for you. So we talked earlier about doing exercises that put you into acute stress so that you can learn to be in acute stress, stay in it, so that when you're in life, you can do it in that way too. So we do what we call squat holds. And we do them against the wall, and then we do them off the wall, right? So I'm gonna start the timer. We're gonna go down. Stay on the wall for this one, so you can go ahead and come down.
Shouldn't my legs be further out maybe? So they're.
Well, let's see how you feel when you get down. So you're gonna bring them back just a little bit. You want your knees like right at your toes. Okay. So bring your feet back just a little. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So we're gonna start you now. So you're at 22nd.
Okay.
That's
what do I do with my hands?
So you can put them out. You can put them here. You can just, but you can't lean them on your legs.
I can't?
No. Gotta keep them out. Keep them out or keep them at your side. So tell me when you start to feel it, when you start to feel some burn. Okay, so you're only 10 seconds in.
Thanks.
Right?
Thanks for telling me.
No, but what's important to know is like, that's how quickly you get into acute stress in life, right? So I'm 45 seconds in.
And it's no problem.
So no, if I'm feeling it, oh yeah, it's burning. It's on fire. So I'm not doing my breathing because I'm talking too much.
Okay,
But
so
this
what
is
do I
where we
do?
do super deep in. And then out is loud. So breathe again. And out. How you doing?
Shaking.
Yep. But when you breathe, you stay there. Stay with the fire. Stay with it, because you can do this. Get yourself centered.
I'm falling down.
Okay, so we'll come up. That was long for me, because I'm typically not doing it that way, right? But you use that breath to slow it down and like be in it. And the more you practice and the more you do it, I find myself now, like, I don't have road rage anymore. I just, like, I'm not screaming at everybody.
Bonus.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so fascinating how it all connects. So it's been incredible.
I love it.
Yeah.
I did not know this existed. I learned so much.
I'm so glad.
I really just thought it was about burning calories,
right?
Toning up the muscles.
That's what everybody thinks, and I think I understand where that comes from. But no one's ever, we've never really taken it to the full totality of the person. And when you do that, and you start to really look at what this can do, and you build your foundation this way, the sustainability level is huge. Like, I'm planning to live to 120.
Yeah, you're really not dead yet.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
I love it.
Thank you for having me. That was great.